Hello and welcome back to another part of this series of Diamond Art. If you'd like to see the full playlist, then please head to the playlist titled Diamond Art and I will put all the ones similar to this one there. Okay, so now that we know what the week looks like, I'm going to start going into what we did in terms of the different subjects. So starting with science, I witnessed 8 science lessons during my time at Prac. Starting with the first one, we had the opportunity to go into the tech room and see the food tech teacher run this lesson. As on a Tuesday, my AT is at a meeting, so on the first Tuesday we went into the food tech room and did the rock cycle experiment with chocolate that I had to grate the block before. It was a lot of chocolate, but for each group they had a tin, and then we performed a series of experiments on it and then write down the observations, and then they got to eat it the next day, so that was pretty cool. Then the second lesson, they saw their observation, the AT wrote on the board and what the rock cycle looked like during doing a class discussion and everything, and then they had to make their own model using paper and the 3 types of rocks you see in the rock cycle, color in the rock cycle, make the model stand up, and that took up one lesson. The third lesson I got the opportunity to take, it was my first lesson to teach, and I was a nervous wreck. I spoke too fast and was not confident in what I was saying, but in that lesson I taught them about tectonic boundaries. In the previous block we had cut out world maps and their tectonic boundaries, and they had to fit the puzzle together and then stick it back together on a piece of paper and then line out where the boundaries are, and then we watched a video and did the workshop together and got the answers as a class. The fourth lesson I also took that one, and this time we were making an earth model of what the earth looks like. So we had 3 discs that we had to put info on, and so got those all printed out, and as a class went through all the stuff I wanted to have on the worlds. At the end, one of the kids said that there was not a lot of brainstorming and a lot of writing stuff down, so next time you need to include them a little bit more. But after we put down all the info we had to color in the 3 different discs, and I got the opportunity to sit down and color the discs with some of the kids, so that was pretty cool. And then but time ran out and I decided that we would continue this for the next lesson, so I collated them all in and made sure that everyone had their names on it. And the 5th lesson was finishing it up and adding a little bit of extra detail, then cutting it up and gluing the pieces together. Majority of the class did finish, which is pretty impressive in my opinion. The 6th lesson I planned for, but that was really hard to do in reality, so the AT did it. But we watched a video and she put the main ideas on the board about the different types of boundaries, convergent, divergent, and transform, and paused it at different intervals and made them yap about it. And then we did a booklet. And then at the end we did a blue kit about it, and I'm not a fan of blue kit. It's not very educational, it's very loud for 10 minutes. And the 7th lesson, they were looking at hazards and what they are, so the food teacher was here again, and it was a very slow lesson, and they were a bit unfocused in the 3rd block. But then the last lesson was about the Ring of Fire, so that was pretty cool. I wasn't there for all of the teaching because I got roped to supervise a hip-hop group that was happening in the gym, but in the end they had to make their dream house and how it would withstand natural disasters, so that was pretty cool to see. I did walk around and look at their creations, and they had like flying wings and had super glue and had random metal steel bits and stuff, so yeah, very inventive. And then they did that in pairs, and then they were going to get judged on it the next day. So that is all the science lessons that I witnessed at my time in this practicum, so that's pretty cool. I got to do 2 of them. Well, yeah, I got to do 2 of them, and the third one I planned for but didn't do, so yeah. And here we are still doing the salmon color ones, looking at the screen. So this is the color F, no, this is the salmon color and the letter is F. So that's pretty cool. Alrighty, if you'd like to see more of these types of videos, please subscribe and stay posted. Your support means so much. Thank you and bye bye.